Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I'm gonna be talking about knitting. I'm going to do like an update of whips and also one finished thing. I've been pretty bad at finishing stuff, and I've got a few acquisitions to show you as well, so I hope that's something that you will be interested in. Yeah, so let's just get started. First thing I'm going to show you is a finished object. So pleased that I finished this. I showed this in my last knitting update video, and it wasn't finished, and now it is. This is sorry, it's kind of a bit wrinkly. It's been folded in my my drawer. This is the Wannabe sweater by NCL Knits. It's a really nice pattern. It's just really quite straightforward. Yeah, it's really nice. This is knitted in Big Little Yarn Co. In the colourway Tamago for the main colour and Furakake for the contrast colour. And I really love how it turned out. I'm sorry about this artificial light, by the way. It's so dark here. I think it's going to pour with rain soon. But I needed to film. I left it to the last minute, so I'm really sorry about that. But I think it's showing it quite nicely back here. It's just like a really beautiful, like warm yellow. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I said in my last video, but this was like, it was a little bit of a slog to finish just because I was having to stripe the main colour. I really think you can see it up here. The main colour obviously is hand dyed, so the two skeins looked a little different. So I had to stripe them, which slowed me down because of the tension on the arms. But now it's blocked, like you can't see it all, but I was really struggling to keep this edge neat along the sleeve. You can just see the crease where it's been blocked, but you can't really see that there was like tension issues, but that's good. Yeah, I would definitely knit this again. Just like a really good like basic sweater pattern. I think the fit is nice. The sleeves are like shaped well. I modified it by making it a lot shorter. Don't know by how much, probably like 10 centimeters at least on the body. Let me measure it for you. Mine measures from hem to underarm. Mine measures 20 centimeters including the ribbing, so yeah, it's pretty short. But I wear, everything I wear is high-waisted, or it looks great under these dungarees, so I don't need a super long sweater. Sleeve the yarn as well. And the sleeves, I'm short, so I have quite short arms. The sleeves measure just shy of 34 centimeters including the cuff. I made the cuff shorter than the pattern said, but I just thought if I knitted it to the length, it was supposed to be the same as the neck, but I knitted it, I don't know, maybe shorter. The neck and the hem are the same, and then I think, yeah, and then I think the cuffs were supposed to be the same too, but they were just going to be, it was just going to make the sleeve at that little bit too long for me, so I changed them. But I think it looks nice. I'm really pleased. I haven't gotten much wear out of it yet. I don't really know why. Maybe I'm like traumatized from how long it took me to knit, but I will be getting some nice wear out of it this winter, I think. Because it's 4-ply, I think that 4-ply sweaters make really good layers. Like I would wear this under a thicker cardigan, or like under these dungarees with like a scarf or a shawl or something. Yeah, that's that. So that is the single whip. No, finished object. There are many whips. So yeah, my goal for this year, or the rest of this year, as I mentioned in my previous knitting video as well, was to finish all of my whips. I have 100% ignored myself. I still have the stalactite and the woven chevrons on the go. Is that what I've written down? Yeah. And I'm still working on that very long running test knit. I'll put a link to the video where I show you those if you're interested. And I have now also got 2 new whips. I don't know what I've done. I've thrown caution to the wind. That's very unlike me as well, actually. I'm usually quite good at kind of working through stuff and finishing stuff, but I don't know what's going on. Oh well. Let me show you these 2 new whips. Just put that over there. Okay, so first new whip is Stripe Overload. Here we are. So you can see it better back here again. This is an undyed colour, I believe. It's Jameson's Shetland Heather in the colour Shetland Black. It's very special. It's like, you can't really see it. It's like a really dark brown with kind of like, not flecks, but like single kind of strands of grey running through it. I don't know how else to describe it. Maybe I can put a picture up on the screen. If I can find one, I'll add a picture somewhere. Yeah, so this is Stripe Overload by Spectacle Strick. They're a Danish designer. I believe they're Danish. So as the name suggests, this is supposed to be stripy, but I'm doing it in plain plain colour because I don't know, I just could really see this sweater in this single colour, and actually I wanted to wear it with these dungarees, like I'm wearing this, you know, underneath. Really enjoying this so far. It's really like simple knit, but I don't know, this collar is so great. It's really effective. I was worried it'd be a little too big, but I think it's great. So yeah, I'm onto the body. Not very far through the body actually. Yeah, not very far through, but that's okay. It's going fast. It's on a 5mm needle. So yeah, the gauge is like 16 stitches, so it's a pretty big gauge. I think I'm working at about 17 with this unblocked, so I did not swatch. I know I should have done, but I think I feel like I've knit so many sweaters now that I can kind of know what gauge I'm gonna get without swatching. Does that make sense? Does anybody else feel like that? With certain yarns for sure, like I just know what sort of gauge I'll be able to get with the Retrosaria Brushka or the Mondim or Durum Natura Gilead. Like I've knitted with those yarns a lot, so I feel like I know myself. So I kind of threw a little bit of caution to the wind with this, but it's turned out at the right gauge, so hey, sometimes taking a gamble pays off. But yeah, I think let me show you again. It's a really nice sweater. Like, would definitely recommend the pattern. And I do have plans for a stripy one, and I will show you the yarn for that in a minute. So yeah, that's that. And then my second whip, let me just swap them, got a little crate with them in. My second whip is a test knit for Ozetta. I believe the designer's name is Hayley. Such a great pattern. Oh my god, I am really into this pattern. So this is how far I've got. It's a really nice colour which you can't really see very well. I think again I'm going to put a picture somewhere that shows this colour better. This is Durum Natura Gilead in the colour Amaranth. Yeah, Amaranth. I googled it and it's like some kind of flowering plant, and the flowers are quite like pinky, which I think this is not so pink. It's kind of like a very brown pink. Anyway, it's a nice colour, and I don't have anything this colour, so I think it's going to fit into my wardrobe nicely. So yeah, this is a test knit, but the pattern comes out beginning of November, I think, so it's not that long to wait. it's such a clever construction. It has this saddle shoulder, but it's not constructed like any saddle shoulder I've ever seen. I really like it. It was very, very satisfying to knit. So I'm onto the ribbing on the body. I've shortened the body considerably. I think I took like 10 centimeters off of this, just because that's how I like to wear things. But the rib is supposed to be 10 centimeters deep, so it's a very deep rib. What was I going to say about that? I don't know, just that is quite like a lot of a rib on the bottom of a sweater, so it looks like I've started it like quite close to the armhole, but in actual fact it's very long. So yeah, I think the cuffs have the same, and then it's got a huge, or like a really big folded neckband that's knitted in 1x1 rib as well, which looks really nice. Yeah, really lovely. Very excited to wear this, to finish it and then to wear it. I think this might be one of those ones that I like make multiples of. I was actually like thinking of a stripy version. I think the stripy version would be really nice. Yeah, we'll see. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, so that's it for whips, and we've done the finished object. So I'll show you some acquisitions now. Acquisitions? Things that I've got. So I'll show you this first. This is the, what's it called? Dehesa de Barrera. I apologize to any Spanish speaking viewers. This is from a Spanish yarn company called Wool Dreamers. I think the labels are so pretty. I'm sorry about the light. Really pretty labels. This is 100% merino wool from Spain. They're a really lovely company. They focus on like quite like small production. Like I believe everything comes from, all of their yarns come from like the same flocks of sheep. You know, it's kind of breed specific, or more like farm specific yarns, which is really nice. So I have 2 each of these, 2 blue, 2 orange. This is going to be another stripe overload polo. Since I chose this color combination, I've seen a few people who have chosen blue and orange, which I feel like it's kind of an unusual color combination because they're like, you know, opposites on the color wheel, but I don't know, these 2 colors look great to me. I really like them together. So the orange is color number 1246 and the blue is color 4127. So this yarn, it's kind of, its yardage suggests that it would be something like a DK. So you get 240 meters, which is 262 yards to 100 grams. It recommends between a 4 and a 5 millimeter needle. It's very, very springy. I think if you're familiar with Derirum Natura Gilead, this yarn is really similar to Gilead. It has almost exactly the same meterage, and it's plied very similarly. It's just quite like smoothly plied, but very, very bouncy. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really nice sweater. I think maybe at the 16 stitch gauge is pushing it for how like loose you can knit it. But we have this at work, and it's new at work, and I've swatched a little bit with it, kind of showing a customer how to do cables. I've swatched with it, but yeah, it's really nice. My boss is knitting with it at the moment. She's making a hat. It's just knitting up really nicely. I think it's a really good kind of different one for somebody who likes Gilead, or what else? I think it's probably a good substitute for something like Brooklyn Tweed Arbor as well. Yeah, really nice yarn. So I'm really excited to knit this up. And I think these 2 colours are gonna work really well together. Very pleased. And oh, I was gonna show you this in my acquisition section as well. Nothing to do with knitting, but I have, oops, there goes my tape measure. I have acquired a new tattoo. I got this done on Friday, so I still have the second skin on it, which is, if you don't have tattoos, this is what they put on straight after they do it to stop the tattoo becoming infected, or like, you know, when it's very, very fresh. So you keep this on for like 5 days and then you can take it off and wash the tattoo. But yeah, it's, you can see it's a hand holding a candlestick, but it's so gorgeous. I've got all of my tattoos that I have now from the same artist, and they are amazing. I'm going to put a link to their Instagram in the description, because everybody needs a tattoo from Gaia. They're just fantastic. If you're a London-based person who likes getting tattoos, go to them. The studio is lovely as well. Yeah, okay, that's another acquisition. And then I'm going to show you this. So this is the new book from Pom Pom. It came out a couple of days ago. This is Ready Set Socks, as you can see. It's kind of like the sequel to the book Ready Set Raglan, which came out, I don't know, like a couple of years ago now. I knitted one of the samples for Ready Set Raglan, which was really fun. So it's nice that they've done like a sock sequel. So this is by Rachel Coopy, who's like sock queen. And all of the patterns are in both 4-ply and DK weight, which I think is really cool. Yeah, if you hate, I don't know, if you don't like knitting socks, I think DK socks are, you know, that's a really good way to go. And also the photography is lovely. They put in all of these, like, they're all shot on coloured backgrounds, and I really like the fact that some of the socks are styled over tights. Like, I used to wear that when I was do that when I was a student, because the studios at my uni were so cold. We'd just get really cold, like, in the studios. But yeah, I think it looks cute. And they have also the look at these trousers. This is such great trousers. Yeah, it's a really nice book. Yeah, if you like socks, I think this is a really good one. Like, there's lots of there's like a really basic pair right at the front, and then it goes into like kind of more complicated ones, like cables and texture, and look, there they are. Yeah, I think it's great. Really, really pleased that I have this book. I've already managed to squash one of the corners, but oh well. Yeah, that's another acquisition. And then I think I want to show you, or I want to talk about 2 things that I'm potentially thinking about casting on. But I realised that I've forgotten to get one of the yarns, so bear with me, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Let me sit down again. Okay, so the first thing I'm thinking of casting on at some point, I really need to finish some stuff, but I've seen a few versions, I think recently on Instagram, of Pieces of Silver by Vera Valimaki. I'll put a picture up. I bought that pattern like so many years ago. I think it was in one of the original, or not original, like first few issues of Liner magazine, but anyway, yeah, I've had that pattern for like probably like 4 or 5 years, I reckon. And it's just like a really nice basic sweater. So I was thinking it would be really good for this green Mondim that I have. This one. I showed this in a previous video as well. You may be able to see it better. It's in my stash video. I will put up a link in the card thingies. Yeah, but I think it would be really nice in Mondim. It's not like a super snuggly yarn, but I think it's such a good one for like a tough, hard wearing yarn, and so I think it would make a great version of that sweater, because I don't know, it's just, I think it's one of those sweaters that you could wear all the time with everything. Again, like, it's a 4-ply sweater, so like I said earlier, I think it would be a good like autumn winter layer, like under dungarees, or like even like if you have one of those like cool like kind of zip or button through like boiler suits, I think it would look cool under one of those. And I think the fabric's thin enough that you could do that. So yeah, that's one thing I'm thinking that I would cast on. I'll definitely make it at some point, and I think I'll definitely use that yarn, but when I get around to it is another question. And then I also have seen a couple of versions of this on Instagram recently, and I don't know why, like it kind of passed me by when it came out. I think it's not like a really new design, but it's really a really nice one. It's called Sheep Camp Sweater by Jennifer Berg. I'll put a picture up somewhere. It's in DK, so I've written a note here. I don't have enough in my stash to use for the main colour, because it's, you know, a solid body with one contrast colour in the yoke. It's quite a graphic yoke. I think it's nice to have that quite high contrast like the pattern photos have. But I have this really nice yarn that I bought this at Unravel in 2020. This is Garthenor number 3. I didn't show this in my stash video. I don't know why, I must have forgotten about it. I have 2 full skeins and a little bit left over. I put it into the yoke of a jumper that I actually ended up gifting my mum. But yeah, so this is Garthenor's DK weight in the colour Chimney. You get 115 meters to 50 grams, so so it's quite a nice, fairly airy DK weight. I just love this colour. It's, can you see it better over here? It's grey with like a Shetland black, like a very, very dark brown. And yeah, the colour is Chimney. I think I already said that, but there you go, you have it for a second time. I think actually it would be really cool if I got the same yarn to use for the body. I really like Garthenor. If you don't know about them, they're an organic company. They're based in Wales, and it's kind of like a family run company. They're just super talented kind of at sorting fleeces. They have a whole undyed range, which is kind of numbered. So the number 1 is lace weight, the number 2 is 4-ply, number 3 is DK, 4 is worsted, 5 is like chunky, I think. I think there's even a 6. Anyway, yeah, so this is 100% organic Shetland, and it comes from farms in Wiltshire and Somerset, England, and oh no, somewhere in Wales. I'm not going to embarrass myself by pronouncing that Welsh name. But yeah, so the way that their undyed yarns work is that they're sorted by fleece. So like the grey will be, you know, from one set of Shetland sheep, and then the brown will be from another set of Shetland sheep, which is nice. And they have like creams and browns, and they all come from different sheep breeds, but everything comes from the UK. And they kind of, you know, they tell you locally, like Wiltshire and Somerset, or yeah, or a place in Wales, which I think is really nice. So I think that I've got enough there easily to use it as the contrast colour in the yoke of that lovely sweater. And then I think maybe for the mane I'd go like the pattern has used, like maybe like a cream, or like a, I don't know, like maybe even a light brown, but I'm not sure how that would work with the grey. It is a warm grey. You see it over here. It is a warm grey, but I think I'd prefer cream. Love a little neutral. Yeah, I'm just racking my brains thinking if I have anything in my stash, but I don't think that I do. That's okay. Yeah, I think that's everything. This is not as long as I thought it was going to be, but yeah. Oh, I'll tell you about my jumper that I'm wearing before I go. I'll put a link to it on Ravelry in the description as well, but this is, what is it called? I've forgotten. Udo by Orlan Souche, one of my faves. I knitted this in Retrosaria Pegalhal in, so this is color number 3 and the cream is color number 1. And then the gold color is some Ching Fiber Merino singles in, I think the color is called Honey. This was like the Honey was like a stash dive, and then I bought the Pegalhal when I saw it on sale somewhere. We now have it at work, so nice for me. I've got like access to it whenever I want. I knitted this in lockdown in 2020. I was like super prolific right at the beginning of lockdown. When I still thought, oh, I'll only have like a couple of weeks off work. Turned out I got months off work. But yeah, I think now I haven't worn it for a little while. I think I would knit a bigger size. I wonder if I can block it bigger. I don't know. But yeah, I have kind of, I'm not the same size as I was when I knitted this. I think it still fits okay, but I'd prefer if the sleeve had a little more room in it. But anyway, it looks really cute under these dungarees. I really love this color. It's, I wonder if you can see it better. It's very, very, very rich. The Pegalhal is dyed in the wool. So the fleece, I believe, the way they do it is the fleece is dyed and then they spin it. And I think using that technique allows for like much kind of like richer color mixes. Yeah, I don't know, look at the colors on Rosa's website, because she has very, very good pictures of them, but I think you can see how rich they are. Anyway, that's tangent about lovely colors. Yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. What's next week's video gonna be? I forget. I think, oh, next week. Is next week gonna be the Halloween video? Time is flying. I don't really know what day it is. Who knows? Surprise is gonna be for next week. I think it's gonna be something stationery related. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this knitting update. If you have any questions, please ask me. I like talking to you all in the comments. I really appreciate you leaving comments. It's really nice. And if you've enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will speak to you next week. Bye.